Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. It's race week as we go to the Austrian Grand Prix for round 11. Races coming thick and fast, and in this episode we'll go through the track layout, key overtaking opportunities around this one, the strategies, my predictions, and there's some bold ones in there this week. Feeling a little bit brave. We've got some news, some changes for FP1 with the rookies, and then plenty of upgrade talk as well. Let's get to it. The Austrian Grand Prix, guys, this is a fantastic circuit. Last year though for the last 3 years we've had sprint races here in Austria. This year though it's just your traditional setup. This weekend we've got the FP1, 2 and 3 on Friday and Saturday morning, qualifying, and then race on Sunday. This is a brilliant circuit, this one. Tight, short, punchy, 10 turns, 4.3 kilometers. It's a 71 lap, but very, very quick. 79% on full throttle, low, medium downforce for this one. It's a very, very quick track. The fastest lap is 1 minute 5, 6:19 from Carlos Sainz from 2020. We've got 3 DRS zones down into turn 1, 3 and 4. It's effectively the first 3 corners really, because turn 2 is not really much of a turn. It's just straight into 3. So yeah, the first 3 corners really of the track have DRS straight into them, and we get plenty of overtaking for the last few years. From 22 we had 69 overtakes, 23, 63 and 24, 46. So plenty of overtaking opportunities, and hopefully we get the same this year. The weather conditions for this weekend are hot, but it being in the Styrian Hills and the mountains, it can change quickly, but it does seem unlikely for now. Tyre torque, it's the same in the range as that we got last year. So the mid-range, we've got C3 for the hards, C4 for the mediums, and C5 for the softs. Pirelli not going to the C6 range this year. We've seen them do that in previous races where last year they bought the softest as a C5 and they've gone for the C6. Because last year was the softest in the range in Pirelli at the C5. This year it's one step softer than they can go, one step harder than they can go, because they have got the C6 in the bank now, but not using it this weekend. Strategy, it's normally a 2-strop race. Everybody will normally start on the mediums and then switch to the hards. We may see some go for a second hard depending on track temperatures, but normally it would be a medium around here. I mean, last time I think it was 53% of the laps were done on the hards, so any chance that we are more likely to see, I think, a medium, hard, medium, if the medium is quick enough in the race. Yeah, last time out we got massive drama, and not just in Canada I'm talking about. Last time out in Austria we got fireworks from Max Verstappen and Lando Norris touching. We got that, the big incident. George Russell, as ever reliable, came and took the win. This year I'm expecting similar fireworks, going off what we saw last time out in Canada, with the 2 teammates touching, Lando Norris coming off worth that time. And we got a win for George Russell. The Mercedes was absolutely brilliant, but it was cooler track conditions is what they put it down to. But actually, temperature wise, race day was in the 30s, so similar to what we're expecting here in Austria. So could we see them back up at the front? Let's get to the predictions on that one. For qualifying, I said I'm being bold, and I've gone for Charles Leclerc to take pole position, Lando Norris in second, and Max Verstappen third, and I'll get to why I believe that with the Ferraris. For the race though, I've got Lando Norris to take the win, Max Verstappen to come home second, and Charles Leclerc in third. For that, I think it'll be a good weekend for the Ferraris, back to the front, and a bad weekend for the Mercedes, which is a little bit strange predicting that given what I've just said about the Mercedes. They did win last time out and they were really, really quick, but we've seen them do that in Canada before. Is it track specific? More likely than not, but we could potentially see them on the podium, especially George Russell. He's been driving brilliantly well and he'll be coming off the back of a win, and hoping to repeat the same stories this weekend. FP1, we've got the rookies back in the car. Alex Dunn, the Irishman, will be taking Lando Norris's seat in the McLaren for FP1, and we've got Dino Bogdanovic, who took Charles Leclerc's race car for FP1. and that'll be interesting to see how the pair of them two get on. In the rookie news, like I said, we've got Aston Martin have announced their own driver program, and they've announced Mari Boyer as their first signing into that. So interesting to see Aston Martin now have their own driver academy. They seem to have been the ones to be a bit slow to this one, haven't we? We've seen other top teams at the front already do that, and even Williams have their own driver academy program. And it'd be, Aston Martin now have another driver academy program, and it'd be interesting to see how that develops, and will there finally be some movement in that seat? Because we've seen Felipe Drugovich hanging around waiting for a seat with Aston Martin, what for now appears to be an absolute age. And will there be some movement in there for someone to get that seat? Because at the moment, Lance Stroll is... Lawrence Stroll's son, who's going to get there, is just hogging that seat at the moment. Like I said, for stories up at the front, it's going to be Oscar Piastri is the talk, isn't he? Can he extend his lead in the championship? Currently 22 points ahead of Lando Norris, and will we get another McLaren battle up at the front? I think we will potentially, although I've gone for Leclerc up at the front, but Norris to be, take the win. He's still going to be there or thereabouts. I've not predicted Piastri in my top three, which is a little bit brave. I think we've seen before when Norris has had this sort of little bit of a slump, he's come back fighting out of the corner, and he absolutely needs that, because if Piastri takes the win, and Norris just comes home second, it'll be a 27-point lead over his team, and that's more than a race win, so he can afford a DNF and still lead the championship. And that would be a crucial milestone for Oscar if he can pull off that this weekend. And Lando Norris has got to do everything he can, cut out the mistakes to get that points lead back down to 15 if he takes the win, and Piastri second. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out there. Max Verstappen, probably will get more questions about this. Will he change his driving style? He's still only got one penalty point away from a race ban that finishes at the end of this race weekend, where he'll lose some more points of his licence, and then he's got a little bit of a buffer, but he still needs to be careful for this race weekend. Talking and keep it on Max Verstappen, Red Bull have some upgrades for this weekend. They've said that they're going to come few and far between, but this is one of their home races, Red Bull's, Austrian team. So this is their circuit, the Red Bull Ring. So they'll be out to impress, and let's see how they work out on that. And Ferrari, finally, the first of their upgrade packages that we've been hearing about for an absolute age now. It's not all of it, but some of it will be making it, showing its face this weekend, and the next of it should be coming in Silverstone in a week's time after the race. So 2 back-to-back races now. It should be absolutely brilliant. And can they join the party up at the front? I mean, let's take a look at the championship, because like I said, it's Oscar Piastri leading the way from Lando Norris. He's on 198 points, 22-point lead of Lando Norris, 176 points. Max Verstappen back on 155 points, 21 points behind Lando Norris is now. Max Verstappen, he kind of sort of wrote himself out of that championship battle, but if he can have races like he had in Canada and McLaren, fall behind a little bit, he can sort of weed his way back in there. George Russell, the big mover, on fourth place on 136 points. A massive win for him last time out, and gives him a gap to the Ferraris. Charles Leclerc in fifth place on 140 points back. And he's got a bit of a lead, has Charles Leclerc, over his teammate Lewis Hamilton. And I'm just going to get up the team standings. McLaren comfortably out in front, 374 points. Hardly a surprise when you've got your two drivers, top two in the Drivers' Championship. Hampton lead from them, 76 points, or 176 point lead for them, which is absolutely phenomenal. It looks like the Constructors is wrapped up in the bag for McLaren. Mercedes, the big movers last time out on 199 points, get themselves back up in second place in that battle. Ferrari behind on 183 points, and that's why these upgrades need to be massive for them, so they can stay in the hunt with Mercedes and finally, you know, take that second place, which they lost out to last time. And we've got the Red Bull on 162 points. They are now 4th place, a good 21 points behind the Ferraris. 5th place for the Williams, good chunk back of the Red Bulls, but they are best of the rest pretty comfortably still. A good lead for them in the championship, and we've got the Racing Bulls and Haas on equal still on 28 points even after last time out. Aston Martin up to 22 points, 6 points behind now, and Alpine still rock bottom on 11 points. Kick Sauber on 20 points as they're getting themselves back in this battle for 6th place, or Sauber, which is a massive achievement if they can pull that off by the end of the year. Yes, I can't wait for the action to get going. 2 fantastic races coming up next. Austria, though, is always really, really good. Like I said, plenty of overtaking, a lot of DRS zones, and hopefully we don't just get DRS trains. I mean, we have seen the overtakes, like I said, sort of fall down in terms of where they were from 22 to 24, from 69 overtakes to just 46 last year. So hopefully that was just a one-off last year and we get them back in the 60s again and we get a cracking race. It should be exciting. I can't wait for the action to get going. Let's see what Ferrari can do. I'm really excited to see if they can make it back up to the front. I predicted they will. Let's wait and see. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, see you on the next one.